Welcome to the guitar lesson for à la dérive by Sila. And I might just say right now that all the French throughout this video will be terrible, so I'm sorry about that. But we'll start off on the G. So you can play it with those open strings. The G, the D, G, and B. But you can also play it like a bar chord. Same notes, but different strings. And I prefer playing it this way, because the notes here are fairly short, a bit like staccato. And that's just 2 bars of quarter notes. But when we move into the first verse, which starts off with Je donne les yeux, we instead play 8th notes. And the way we do that is we alternate between those 3 or maybe those 2 fingers and the thumb. We start off with those. So for the C minor, C, G, C and E flat. And we alternate. And then after 1 bar of that, we take that E flat, move it down 1/2 step to the D by barring with your index finger. And repeat 4 times. And you might notice that I'm not playing the top G like you maybe would in a normal C minor chord. That's because that note is the one that is moving back and forth throughout those chords. And it's a good idea to have that note on top, at least for maybe just one exception, which I'll get to. But after those C minor and C suspended 2 chords, we move to the F suspended 4, which is take that F bar with a 3rd finger, the C, the F, and the B flat, and then move down to the F minor. So that note instead A flat. And then same shape as the F suspended 4 chord, the B flat, B flat, F, B flat, and E flat. And which resolves into a normal B flat. That's a D instead. And those 2 chords take place in just 1 bar. So. And the same quick chord changes over the E flat suspended 4, E flat, B flat, E flat, and A flat. And that resolves into a normal E flat. Oh, sorry. Moving on to D minor 7 flat 5. So D, the A minor, C, and F for full bar, and then down to the C suspended 2, 1/2 a bar, and then C5, just a normal power chord. So instead of playing those 4 strings, you instead just play the 3 lowest ones. F suspended 4, just like before, but with slightly quicker chord change. And then G suspended 4 for a full bar, and and then G. So the G suspended 4, G, D, G, and C, and then B on top. And that's it for the first verse. And now we move on to the chorus. J'allais go traverse. Yeah. And we now have the C suspended 2 chord, starting off half a bar, and then C power chord, C5. And then first inversion of B flat, so B flat with D in the bass. So you bar with your index finger, the B flats, F, B flat and D, and then D in the bass. For a full bar, F suspended 4, F minor, and here we arrive at the exception when it comes to the top melody notes. Here we have a G minor, and I'm actually having the D on top there. That's just because that's what the piano player seems to be doing in the original recording. Resolve it into a G, a normal G major chord. And now we have a bit more melody to deal with. We have this descending bit. Oh, sorry. That's all over the A flat major 7. But we start off with the major 7 on top, the G. And the way I'm doing that is I'm barring with my index finger on the A flat at an angle, so you can also hit the G. And for the rest of the notes, G, C, and E flat. Well, I suppose you aren't hitting that C just yet, but we'll get there. So half a bar of that, and that melody note should then go to the F, so instead switch the fingering a bit. Instead play, I suppose, an A flat major 13, and down to the same shape as you had before, but instead of playing that as a top note, you are playing E flat, and then the melody should go down to the D over a B flat 6 chord, because we're doing the normal B flat shape as we had before, but we also hit that G on top. And the way I'm doing that is I bar as much as I can with my third finger, but I'm also helping that finger out with my pinky. And then the C minor, but this time keeping that G as the top note for a full bar, and then the B flat with D in the bass like before for a full bar, F suspended 4, full bar, F minor likewise, the G minor with D on top, major, and then the descending part again. And that's the chorus. And we move on to the second, or maybe third and fourth verse, depending on how you're keeping count. We start off with the same lyrics, Jardin des Cieux, and it's just like before, so I'm not going to go into that. But when we arrive once again at the second chorus, instead of playing the suspended 2, which goes into the C power chord, the C5, we just remain on C minor for a full bar. And then you go through the whole refrain, the whole chorus once again, but when you reach that final part, you instead play so you stay on that A flat in the bass and then switch fingers to hit that D, and then you should do the same melody but this time an octave down. So the way I'm playing it is I just play well, let's see if my fingers can reach. That's a bit stretchy. So if you want, you can experiment with keeping capo there and then doing a G shape over it. So if I were to play it, I suppose an octave down would be but with more notes. But you can experiment, or you can just work on that. And the way I'm doing that is, well, I'm hitting those, the same 3 as the same lowest 3 as we did throughout that, but just those. And I have my second finger instead, and then I lift my third finger and hit that F, and then you want to reach down to that E flat, and here I actually switch, so I have my third finger in bass so I can reach a bit longer, and then just lift it to have the open D. And then we have the chorus once again, but this time much mellower, and you can actually go back like you did at the beginning, just playing quarter notes. And here, just like before, we just stay on that C minor for the first bar instead of playing those. And you do that for the whole chorus, except for the end, where we do very much the same thing, but instead of going down an octave straight away, we do the high octave 2 times. So once again, sorry. Slowing it down, and then end on maybe a C5, just those 3. So the end. Just like that. And that's it for this lesson. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And I'll see you next time. Take care.